Boo! Hi guys, welcome back to Fable. Felt like doing a random-ish intro. And side note is that if you're close up, you can also see the butterflies floating around my character's head. And that's because I'm good. I think you get flies if you're bad, so yes. Anywho, moving on from there, we're going to take the time to do a little bit of a side quest today. If we look at our quest card table, the only one that we can do is this one, which is the Ransom victim. Return the Knothole Glade Chief's son who is being held for ransom. And this is a pretty easy quest, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that before we do anything else in the main story. Just as a little bit of a side thing. So let's go to Knothole Glade, obviously, and see what is up. Alright, I've also got rent here. You can see I only own one house, but it's worth almost $3,000, which is kind of cool. So anyways, not a whole lot going on here, as per usual. I kind of feel bad for the mayor at this point, or the chief rather. Like, everything seems to happen to him, the poor bastard. Oh, here he is.
I need to speak to you. Oh, a hero, at last. It's my youngest son. He's been captured by bandits. I've told him never to go playing in the woods. They say they'll send me his head if I don't pay the ransom. Oh, why does everything happen to me? Why? They're holding him in a cave in Witchwood, those filthy savages. You have to rescue him. Here's the ransom gold. If you can kill the lot of them, it's yours to keep. Just make sure my son is unharmed. Oh, I must lie down now in my hut. This is all too much.
Yeah.
Hey.
I do feel bad for him. Poor guy.
So, you're off to free my little brother, are you? That's just lovely. Lovely. But you know, my father is a stupid old man. Can you believe he's talking of making the brat the next chief around here? We can't let that happen, my friend. It would be the end of this town. If you want to make some serious gold, bring the boy to me. I'll be waiting for you on the secluded path on the opposite side to the demon door.
So we've got some choices here. Alright, now this quest only gives you about 3,000 gold for a reward, but I do believe that he gave us 7,500, so that gives us over 10,000 gold for this quest if you choose to keep the ransom. And of course we're going to keep the ransom. This quest would be boring if I just gave them the money and ran off with the kid, and like I said, it's a pretty easy quest to do, so I really shouldn't have any problems with it. So now we just gotta walk our way through Witchwood, which we haven't really done in a while. We haven't really had to come back here. So it might be kind of nice to see the area over again and just kind of follow it all the way through. Of course, the seal is going to guide us to where we need to go. Okay, let's take out my bow. When I was doing this in practice, I decided to practice this one because I didn't remember it very well, but I found out it's pretty easy. When I was in practice, I found out that my bow right now is just a lot more effective because when I power up a shot, it can do up to 250 damage, and I'm finding that my weapons are only doing like 40 or 50 hits per swing, so it's really just a lot easier for me to use my bow, and it also gets me some good bow experience, and I love how this Balverine is like glitched. It's kind of strange. He's like planking in the air. He must be held there by invisible wire. So I'll probably just go ahead and use my bow because I can kill these Balverines in like one hit if I charge up my bow. It only takes about 250 damage to kill them, and like with the troll I can also kind of sit here and hit it from behind until it notices me. Now luckily with the troll there's usually traders around, and sometimes the traders will like divert its attention, so sometimes it can be kind of easy to avoid it depending on if there's traders nearby or not. Let's just go ahead and, I was gonna say go ahead and roll, but I don't really need to, it just died. Killing that troll was also very easy, as you just saw, so I'm pretty unstoppable with my bow, as I found out, which is actually kind of interesting. I don't really pay attention to how much damage I'm doing most of the time because I'm playing, but when I took note of it, I found that rather interesting, so. Anywho, we're just gonna keep heading on over here. We need to, of course, go back to the demon door where the archaeologist was being held, and that's where the little boy is going to be.
Oh
Alright, there's bugs here. I guess we can probably take them out. Although they don't really give me much experience anyway, so it's kind of a waste of time. But, hell, why not? Go ahead. Take out these bugs. I'm pretty much just going to skip the Temple of Fable completely, though, because there's not really anything we can do here. We don't really need to donate to the Temple of Fable, because we're good enough already, so... Let's go to Witchwood Stones. Oh my god, this quest is going to take me so long. This video is like over 5 minutes and I haven't even started the quest yet. And I was doing it in practice, this quest took me quite a while to do. But it also doesn't help that we have to walk to pretty much where we started out in Witchwood to get to where the boy is. I didn't want to warp because I wasn't sure if that would take me out of the area, so I didn't warp. So, let's go ahead and get all that stuff and go towards the bandits here.
You heroes always have to stick your nose into everything, don't you? Well, as long as you've got the gold, the boss won't mind. Go right in. Don't get any bright ideas, though. We'll be waiting right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Should have known the chief had sent some hero dog to do his dirty work. You'd better have the gold. Any of your guild puppet heroics and there's gonna be bits of kid all over the walls.
No. I'm keeping the money for myself.
I don't like games, hero. If you don't give us the gold, I'm gonna introduce the kid's guts to my sword.
Oh, you're such a big, scary man. Going ahead and kidnapping a poor kid. Anyways, you don't have to worry too much about this quest because they're gonna come after you. They're not going to go after the kid. I found that with the Hob Cave quest, the Hobbs always kind of went for James, the kid you were escorting. But it seems like the bandits are more interested in you, probably because they need the kid for the ransom. And if you're in the way, they need to get you out of the way.
Wow, a real hero. And you saved me. I can't believe how lucky I am. Bandits and a hero in one day. I suppose we should get going then. That man you killed is starting to smell funny. I bet we see more bandits though, and they won't be happy you killed that boss.
Okay, kid, if that's the kind of thing that excites you, then I'm a little worried, but let's go. I found that these are the only two bandits that really give me a lot of trouble. Because there's two of them and they're kind of grouped around me and the kid. But other than that, that doesn't give me too much trouble. You can see he's going to wait over there for me, and if I kind of avert their attention over here, then they should kind of go after me. Except for that one bandit who apparently is going after the kid, which I haven't really had happen, so I guess maybe they do go after the kid at some point. That was a little careless of me. I managed to escort him last time with like next to no damage. I'll have to keep that in mind. Because the kid didn't like attack him or anything, so there wasn't really any reason for him to go after him, but I think we'll still be alright. Now that those three bandits are out of the way, most of these guys can be taken out in 2 or 3 shots with my bow, so not really a big deal. And there's only going to be like 2 or 3 of them at a time, so it's not really that big of a deal. There's a few of them you can kind of go around as well, so we should be alright here. And if they do get too close to the kid, what I can do is kind of slow them down with like lightning spells or something, kind of paralyze them in place and try to get a few hits off on him or something. Because you can see they're getting awfully close to him, so what's going to happen is they're going to try to swing, and they're going to hit him, which I don't want to happen, so there we go. This isn't looking good so far, which is really strange. I hate when you do something in practice, or you do something when people aren't looking and it turns out way better, and then when you actually like get around to doing it, it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. Oh well, I still say this quest is fairly easy. I've just been being careless, I do suppose. So let's just go ahead and keep on going. Another reason I really like the bow for these guys is because I find that they block a whole hell of a lot if I'm using my sword. If I'm using my bow, they do not tend to actually block a whole lot. I find that I have to use a lot of flourishes with my weapon, but with my bow, it's like, I don't know what it is, but they really don't seem to block. I guess because it's easier to block my sword with their sword than it is to actually kind of dodge like an incoming arrow to the chest. I would assume something like that would be very, very hard to dodge, especially when my hero has good aim and good speed and things like that, so. Short screens, carry on. And of course you gotta watch for Balverines too, but honestly, Balverines are way easier to take out than the bandits because they're just a whole hell of a lot weaker. I'm gonna wait for these guys to see me, there we go, and then they're gonna come around this corner. Go ahead and hit them. Kind of try to single them out a little bit. As you can see here, like 4 hits with my bow, and it's not really that big of a deal. So, I have a feeling I'm at a pretty good power level for this quest as well. Just kind of taking me a lot longer because I'm using my bow. I'm sure I can probably use the bow experience more than I would the strength experience though, so no harm, no foul. I hope this quest doesn't take me too long though. But I was planning on putting a whole episode for it, so it's not like I had anything else planned for this video because I knew it was would take me a while. It took me a while in practice too, so. Up here is another group of them. There's about 3 of them, so I might have to be kind of careful to watch out for the kids' health here if something happens. Just try to kind of draw them out and hit them as they come closer to me. There we go. The ones in the black hoods are definitely way more tough. These guys here really aren't that big of a deal. I find that they go down way easier, so there we go. And after that last enemy is defeated, we should be home free. We just have to go back to Knothole Glade, and I don't think there's any enemies on that screen. I think it's just these screens here. With really not that many bandits. I guess for like a kidnapping, this is a lot of enemies though when I think about it, but in the grand scheme of things, we've done escort missions with a whole hell of a lot more enemies than this, so that's kind of interesting. Die. Thank you. And where did the kid go? He's like not with me. Wow, did something happen and I just didn't realize it? How did I only just realize that? Well, I think he would have followed me because if he would have died, I would have failed the mission. So that's kind of weird. I don't know how I did not notice that, but just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go back and see if he got left behind or something. Yeah, he got left behind, apparently, which is kind of stupid. I don't know how that happened, because he should have been automatically following me, but... Okay, I'm glad he's safe anyways. And it also kind of sucks. It seemed like the bandit on the last screen respawned, but I think that was the one I actually left alive, so... I was gonna say it kind of sucks that the enemies respawn, but it doesn't appear that they do. So what you might want to do is if you are having troubles with this quest at all, it looks like you can probably leave him on a different screen, kill the enemies, and then come back for him. Very similar to what we did when we were doing the trader escort. I think that trick would also work for this quest, but like I said, this quest doesn't really require a whole lot of skill, and you can probably just do it with what you have right now. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Like I said, I just got really careless, but regardless, as you can see there, that quest really wasn't too difficult. So let's take him back now. Alright. And of course now we've got 2 choices. We can either bring him to his father or we can bring him to his brother. Bringing him to his brother, I think his brother will actually kill him. I did that in practice just so I could get the result, and he kind of takes him out back with a bunch of his bandit friends and pretty much implies that he kills him. So I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just bring him back to his dad. I think the chief has been through enough. I feel really bad for the dude. I mean, Knothole Glade is like the shittiest town. I would just move out, honestly. I would just throw my hands up in the air and say, I quit, I resign, see you later, I'm gonna go live in Oakvale or something. Here's your son.
Oh, my dear boy, you're safe. I was so worried.
It was brilliant, Father. I was in this cave, and there were all these bandits with these big swords, and then...
Stop, stop! It all sounds so horrible. You're never leaving my sight again.
Oh, Father, you never let me do anything fun. Can I at least get a pet Balverine, please?
A Balverine? Avo, help us. We'll talk about it later. Once again, our town thanks you. I just hope I never have to call on your services again. It's a terrible strain on my nerves.
I hope you can come and kill bandits every day.
Oh, jeez. I also love that they're wearing matching clothes, which is something I just noticed. And I'm gonna go ahead and reveal the plans as well.
What? My son did what?
I don't know what he does, but I thought it was good to probably just let him know about his son. I don't really want his son to kill his other son and, like, kill his dad in his sleep. That probably wouldn't be very good. Anywho, that quest is done. You get renown. Like I said, you can get over 10,000 gold if you keep the ransom and kill the bandits. I would assume you'd also get some good points if you brought the son back, or if you brought him to his brother, you'd probably get some bad points for it. So, all the usual stuff. That is going to be about it for this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you all next time.